Hey, y'all watching on Facebook, come on over to the Daily Huddle real quick. We have a great speaker today, hanging out with Sorrel and GlenNeta.
Who will be joining us shortly. GlenNeta, welcome. Will.
Thank you.
And we also have in the studio with us Mr. Mark Ham from Pro Web Firm.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Joanne. Welcome. Good morning, Thomas. Welcome. Say good morning to the world. We are streaming live on Facebook as we're pausing for a couple of minutes before we get rolling. Wherever you are, wherever you're watching the Daily Huddle from, welcome. Thank you for making this your space to create your day in a phenomenal way. Good morning again. We're 3 minutes away from go time. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. We are glad you're here. If you spot something red, it's Mark Ham's shirt.
Yeah, feeling like a passionate color today is in order.
Good deal. Today's conversation is unlike no other. We're getting ready to get you ready to take your brand to the television level. Today's question is, are you ready to take your brand to the television level? Whatever business you're in, maybe you have a friend who's in a business that needs to be on television. Well, today you're going to learn the ins and outs and how to make that happen. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. Joanne, how are you this morning, Joanne?
I'm great. How are you, Sorrel? Sorrel, is that the way you say your name?
Sorrel works.
Sorrel, hi. Yes, I'm having a lovely day. I live near the water, so I was able to watch the sunrise this morning and water my garden and all those things for slowly waking up. So I appreciate this moment with you in the morning.
Oh my God, you're making us jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to take selfies near the water and post them as your profile picture so we can.
That could be done. Managed. Actually, I have a little tiny garden behind my house, and because I knew I would kind of be home all summer, I invested in more flowers and so on, and it's going crazy. I have hibiscus that are like, as big as a dessert plate, that hot pink, that are blooming like crazy right now. So it's the little things, right?
Awesome.
Good morning, Andrea.
Ronald, welcome.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good, how's it going?
Life is good. Cannot complain. What about you?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to get it today.
Awesome.
All right, gang, we're just about a minute away, and here we go. I am channeling Giovanni Gonzalez this morning, and Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to your daily huddle. Today is what day, Andrea?
Today is today. Oh, sorry, I think that we lost you.
He'll be right back.
I think that means you're in charge, Andrea.
Okay, so Joanne, what time is it?
I know that's right.
It's now.
It's now. And where are you, Mark?
I'm right where I need to be.
There you go. Well, let's give it a second. And if not, truly, I don't have the introduction for our speaker today, but we can try it and allow her to introduce herself. So let's just give Sorel just 1 second.
Here he comes.
There he goes.
Never, ever get your connection interrupted in the middle of saying good morning. I am back and delighted to be here with you and delighted to have heard you, Andrea, say today is what day?
Today's today, and we did the time and we did why we're here. So
oh my God. Well, that's perfect. Thank you so much. And now I have the honor of standing on the shoulders of my business partner, Giovanni Gonzalez, who is the #1 transformational leadership coach, co-founder of the Daily Huddle, and the creator of this space where you get to make a contribution to each other and where a speaker comes to us to be a contribution and also receive your contribution in the form of your listening and your attention and your participation. So thank you for being here. My name is Sorel Ketan. I have the pleasure of welcoming you. Sheila, good morning. Rose, good morning. Mary Campbell, it's great to see you. And it's now time for me to introduce our guests this morning. And our guest is GlenNeta Griffin. GlenNeta's question today, and she's the only one in the audience right now fit to address this question, and it is, are you, Sheila, are you ready to take your brand to a vision level? Well, GlenNeta Griffin is an entrepreneur, an actress, a producer and writer with over 22 years of experience in entertainment, media, film, and television. She is the founder and chief executive officer of the Georgia Media Academy, the Media Kids Foundation, Inc., and GlenNeta Griffin Media. She's been involved in more than 100 film and television projects and media campaigns over the past 22 years. GlenNeta holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Public Relations and Marketing with a minor in Journalism and Mass Communication from the Forbes School of Business and Technology at Ashford University. She is a graduate of the prestigious Connecticut School of Broadcasting with specialized training in radio and television broadcasting and media studies. She's a former Georgia government spokesperson and later pursued her Master's of Art degree in film and television from the School of Entertainment Art at the Savannah College of Art and Design in Atlanta, Georgia. She attended Full Sail University and completed a Master's of Fine Arts degree in creative writing, film, and television. We have a powerhouse in our midst, and her name is GlenNeta Griffin. Good morning, GlenNeta. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you guys today. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Sorel and Giovanni.
Well, GlenNeta, guess what? The question is, are we ready to take our brands to the television level? And for the next 12 minutes, you get to tell us how, when. The floor is yours, GlenNeta.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, good morning. I see all of these beautiful faces, and I think you're all TV ready. So we're going to get your notes out and start writing so we can get you the right toolkit so that you guys can get your brand to the television level. And you know, I teach this in our studio at the Georgia Media Academy, but when I do say television level, it can also be your virtual platforms as well, just as amazing shows as the Daily Huddle or any other shows that are online, because that is our new normal. It also includes radio and magazines or any type of media that will help you reach the masses. And I want to explain that to you. We can go door to door with our products, with our businesses, with our brands. We can reach our warm markets all day long. But if you are ready to go to the next level and you're ready to reach more people, you can't knock on every single door, right? So you're going to have to learn how to reach more people in a short amount of time. So how do we do that? So by doing that, you go on one television show that reaches millions. You go on one radio show that has an audience of 1 million people or thousands of people, or however. You just have to learn how to reach more people in a shorter amount of time. So I'm going to go through a few basics that will be inside of that toolkit that you would do and that you would submit. And it all comes down to the package and the pitch. The package and the pitch. Everybody write that down. Your package has to be right and your pitch has to be right, okay? And also I want you to write down these questions. What sets you apart? What sets you apart? So if this is a personal brand and you are in a specific category as a guest expert, what sets you apart from another guest expert? So if you are a psychiatrist or you're a life coach or you're a doctor, or you're a fitness coach, what sets you apart from another fitness coach or whatever in that same category? And the second question I want you to write down is, who is your competition? Who is your competition? And I know some people are going to say, oh, I am only in competition with myself. Yes, but when it comes down to, I have these 3 fitness instructors right here, and one of you guys are going live on our show, it's going to come down to what sets you apart, okay? So I really want you to think about that. I really want you to start looking into your competition. That means go to their website or go to several people's website that's in the exact same industry as you. And what you have to do is look at what's in their EPK, and that stands for electronic press kit. You'll also hear the word media kit. What's in their kit? What are they pitching? Okay. What's in the kit that you don't have? What kind of media are they already doing? What shows have you seen them on? What radio shows? What television shows? What magazine articles are they posting on their pages? That's very important. So do some research. It comes down to lots of research. Everybody write down research, because you have to do your research on your competition. It's important and it matters. Not to mention, if this person is getting booked on these type of shows, that means they're looking for that type of person. So maybe they're tapping into, I saw you guys were posting a lot about mental health. So if you're a mental health professional and for an entire month, a mental health awareness month, they want all mental health professionals, why can't you be one of them? Why shouldn't you be one of them? So you're going to have to write down that information and then pitch yourself to that same media outlet and say, hey, I see you guys are looking for media, mental health professionals. I'm one of them. Here I am. But you have to have your stuff all ready to go. This isn't an industry where you go and get ready once you see the opportunity. You have to have all of your stuff lined up before you even get to that point. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys really quickly what you should be preparing. Okay. So if you do not have any media lined up already, there's nothing in your press room, you guys are not doing interviews, in your package before you pitch, this is what you need to have. So in your electronic press kit, and I want you guys to also Google some other electronic press kits of people in your industry as well and see what they're putting out. Okay. So you want to have your professional headshot. I see all of these headshots already up. Have a professional headshot. Everybody needs a professional headshot. No matter what industry brand you're in, you have to have a professional headshot. That's an investment that you have to make in yourself. Go ahead and do that. Get a professional headshot, okay? It has to have background information. What is your education? Where do you come from? Where'd you study? What makes you an expert in this field? They want to know. Why should we put you on television and trust you with our audience? So where'd you come from? Tell us about it. Tell us why you're an expert in your field, okay? If you're pitching your company to be an expert on there, tell us about your company. How long has it been established? How many employees do you guys have? What kind of products do you sell? What kind of services do you sell? Do you have a book? Are you an author? They want to know about that. Books help you get on television. They help you get on television. So if you're an author, let's hear about that book, but make sure it's relevant to the subject, okay? Also, your bio. Along with your headshot, you have to have a great bio. So work on that. I recommend having a short bio and a long bio. So you can have a short one that's about 5 to 6 lines, and then you can have your full page bio to give them more information. I always recommend pitching the short version and having the longer version available, okay? So this is, like I said, again, this isn't an industry where you want to go and get ready. You have to be ready, okay? So go ahead and have both versions and say, oh, I loved your short bio. Let me find out more information. Great. Here's my full bio. Now you can send that over, okay? Your press release, if you have a press release about a new product, if you're pushing a new product, your press release should also be in that media kit or EPK electronic press kit that we're talking about today. Products, fact sheets about your company or fact sheets about your brand, that should be included. This is very important. Topics that you can speak on. What topics can you speak on? So you're not going to say, hey, I am this professional in my industry and I know absolutely everything. I'm going to tell you guys right now, GlenNeta Griffin does not know everything about media. I do not. I would not sit here and tell you that. I do know enough to make me a professional. I do have the educational background, but I don't know everything. So if I'm pitching myself, I'm going to give you the specific topics that I have experience in my industry. And I'm going to make it very plain and clear. These are the top 3 things that I know. I can come on your show. I can speak to you for 3 minutes, or we can rock and roll for 30 minutes or an hour. We can talk all day long about this topic because I know these topics. Make it very clear. Make it very specific what you can talk about, and make those, if it's mental health, what about mental health? Moms and mental health. What about moms and mental health? Moms who deal with children with autism. Let's break that down even further, okay? So give them the specific topics, because what you're doing is doing the producer's job for them. They don't have to go and dig around about the specific topics. Now you're helping them with their job. You are a dream. They're like, oh, wow, you've already done all that homework for me. Let's get her on the show. She knows her stuff, okay? So make sure you're doing that. Newsworthy press coverage. Newsworthy press coverage should be included. What does that mean? That means if you have articles that have been published in magazines, in newspapers, if you've done radio interviews, if you've done television interviews, where you actually have them on your reel. And we're going to talk about that quickly too. Anything that you've already done that we can put together into a reel, you need those. Do not go and do shows for anyone and not request a copy. You have to have something to show for your work. People are busy. They don't have time to go back and track this stuff for you. And what's going to happen is you're going to wait 2-3 years down the line. You're not going to have all of your stuff together. And then a great opportunity is going to present itself and you're not going to be ready. So as you complete media interviews, no matter how big or small, start pulling your stuff together. Start pulling those clips together so that you can show them that you've done it. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to look at it and they're going to say, you know, are these pre-recorded or are they live? And we're going to talk about that quickly too. There's a big difference between doing live interviews and doing pre-recorded interviews. Pre-recorded, sometimes if you mess up, they're like, okay, run it back. We're just going to do it again. If you're live, you are live. We're live today. If I mess up right now, I have to recover well. That means all of us have to learn how to recover well. Those are the people they want on television. How do you recover? You got to save the show. You got to be amazing, You have to intrigue our audience. You have to be energetic. You got to pull your weight. Okay. So if you can do a live interview, you are a winner. So I want you guys to start practicing with your live interviews. Go live on your social media pages, your Instagram, on your Facebook pages. Start doing it. It's going to be painful. Some of it's going to be ugly. You're not going to like it. It's going to make you cringe. But guess what? It's going to make you better. It's going to make you amazing. It's going to help you work out all of those kinks, and it's going to help you recover well. Everybody write that down. Recover well. You have to be able to recover well when you're doing interviews, okay? All right. So you're pulling together all of your newsworthy press coverage, and then you have to have your industry awards and accolades, okay? So if you guys have won any awards in your industry, whatever industry that is, you want to make sure they know about them. That's important too. Oh, you're an award-winning journalist. That's important. So put that information in there too, okay? And I will tell you this: the more that you get better interviews, once you get the better stuff, you can drop some of the old stuff off. But you got to start somewhere. So I want you guys to start making a list of your local media. If you are on that level where you're just crossing over, who's in your local media? Who are your local newspapers, your local TV shows, the community shows, the government access channel, the community access channel? Contact these people and say, hey, I have something to say. These are my topics. I want to talk to you guys. I want to come on your show. Pitch yourself locally and help that build your brand up to get to the larger ones, because they have to know that you can do the shows. I'd much rather you work out the kinks with a local show than you try to go onto a live Good Morning America show and you completely screw it up, right? So start with your local media. So again, all of these things go into your EPK. This is your kit: your background information, your headshot, your company information, your bios, press releases, products, fact sheets, the topics you can speak about, newsworthy press conference or coverage, industry awards and accolades, and most importantly, your social media handles and your contact information. Tell people how to contact you. And I don't want you to put in there, if you're pitching yourself, say, hey, go to Facebook and follow me here, and then go to Instagram and follow me there, and then go to LinkedIn and follow me there. They should be able to get to all of that information through your website. If you are a professional and you're pitching yourself, you should have a website. My personal website is GlenNetaGriffin.com. If you go there, you can get to all of my social media accounts. That's really simple. That's one thing to remember. Not trying to remember all of these handles that should be the same anyway if you're branding yourself as a professional, okay? So if they're not, and you are branding yourself to go to the television level, get back on your social media outlets and get that brand together. They need to be all the same, okay? So go and get all that together. So that's in your kit. And then when it comes to your reel, which you can also submit from your YouTube channel, a link that you have on there, make sure these are all different interviews that you've pulled together. And you can send them one reel that's a minute to 3 minutes. I would not go over 3 minutes. Actually, a minute and a half is perfect. Pull them together. These should be your best clips. Your best clips, that sound bite that was amazing that people remember. It could be a highlight of the show where you made the audience laugh, a connection that you made. Put your best stuff up front, okay? You only want to put your great stuff on your reel, okay? And they're not going to have time to watch it for 5 minutes. I know when you start editing it down, you're going to be like, well, I love all of them. Great, let somebody else look at it, okay? Because I run into that all the time where people are like, oh, I have all of these different interviews and I want to include them all. Well, you can't, because they're not going to watch it. You're wasting your time and you're wasting their time. Get straight to the point, pull the best stuff, okay? So we talked about that. And then you start pitching to everyone you know. Who do you know that has a radio show? Who do you know that has a podcast? That would help you, get in the door a lot quicker and to get something under your belt so they can hear how you interview. So right now we're doing everything virtually. There's so many virtual interviews. If you have a brand or you have a company, you guys should be reaching out to everyone you see in your feed going, hey, do you need guests for your show? Or if you see them saying, hey, we need guests for the show, boom, that's your opportunity to start submitting yourself. So start pulling this together and sending yourself to the television level. And as you build up your brand, you'll be ready, to get to that level, okay? And then if you're not ready, again, start making videos. Even if you're not ready to quite go live, the way you do that is getting comfortable and building your confidence on camera, period. So you prop up your phone just like you all are right here. Get those subject matters that you talk about with your brand and start recording short videos, short educational videos, a motivational quote, something about your brand, and put that content on your YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, start one. You should be building that information constantly because it's going to help you get better on camera and get more comfortable with it. Okay. So if you don't have that, start making informational content about your expertise. And then the next step to that is going live with yourself. And the next step to that will be submitting yourself to some larger shows. Okay. So I think, oh, yep, I think we're right at that time. So if you, yeah, I'm wrapping it up right there. So if you guys are ready to take your brand to the television level, you want to know more information, you want to train with a private coach, GeorgiaMediaAcademy.com. Right now, we are doing virtual interviews and virtual coaching and private consulting right here online, or we will do one-on-one in our studio. We're located at 388 Glen Street North in Fayetteville, Georgia. Okay, so I enjoyed this so much, and I'll pass it back to you. Thank you.
GlenNeta, you are a rock star.
Thank you. I was trying to get everything in. I'm like, I want to tell them so much.
Like, oh my God, let's pack all that education, 20 experience in about 12 minutes, and you did an awesome job. So
thank you. Thank you. I tried.
I tell that.
And, yay, that's awesome. Awesome. Right fast, y'all. Right fast.
Going to rock.
Awesome. I hope it helps.
You cannot wait. You. Go
All
ahead,
right.
Sheila.
All right. Thank you, GlenNeta. That was so awesome.
Yay.
It was music to my ears this morning. It was just what I needed. And I mean, just really well done. Two things I have. Sometimes, like, how do you reach certain producers or certain people where, you know, my assistant and I, we were trying to send letters and I mean, we had to go through, like, let's just say something like, I'm going to just say like a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of one right off the bat. Let's say the Ellen Show or something. Mm-hmm. How do you reach through the producers or whoever, The View? Mm-hmm. And how do you get through to get to them, to get something to them? That's one. And then I wanted to ask you a little bit about advertisers, particularly on YouTube and Facebook, etc.
Okay. So specifically for The View, if you have specific shows that you want to go on, every show has a booking producer or a booking assistant. Mm-hmm. You have to call you can actually call them right now. They may not even be in studios. I'm not sure who's back in studios right now if it's something that you want to do now. Find out how they're doing their booking. So you can call the number. Usually they're going to have somebody that their phone is routed to. You can call the general number, or they will have a contact information on there. Reach out to them and ask them, where do we send guests? If you have an assistant, let the assistant do it for you. And how do we submit guests for your show? Here's the thing. Without you, they don't have a show. Okay. So I want you guys to remember that. If they don't have guests for the show, there is no show. So they're looking for the next big talent to come on their show and to make it amazing. So you contact the show, you find out the procedures and the process for submitting your information, and then you go from there and you just submit it through the process. So that's the best way I can tell you. If that doesn't work out for you by contacting them, whatever they have online, then you may want to hire a publicist. A publicist's job is to be connected. They already have the media contacts. That's what you're paying for. Their connections, their expertise in pitching the information. So if you have a PR professional that you're familiar with, and I used to be a publicist where, I submitted all of my clients. This is something that I did for years. And that was my job. People came to me because I was well connected. I'd already done all the research. I had all the contacts. Find you a PR professional that is still working in the industry. And that's their job, is to know how to get in touch with them.
Great. Thank you, GlenNeta. Thank you so much.
And what about the advertisers? Did you have a question about?
How do you have people want or companies want to be an advertiser or sponsor? That's the word for your show. Let's say if it's YouTube or just like the Daily Huddle,
Right. So here's my answer on that. What is the return on investment? What are they going to get out of it? So if I'm a company and I'm going to give you money to advertise on your network or your show, what am I going to get in return? How many followers do you have? How many people are listening? How many viewers? They have to know. Companies are not going to give out money if they don't think that they're going to get customers or, increase their revenue out of it. So it's your job to package that sponsorship package up or the advertising package up to pitch to them and say, hey, this is all the information you need. If you want to be an advertiser with us, or we want you to advertise with us, we have this many viewers, we have this many followers, we have this many people that are connected with us that we're going to connect you with. So it has to be a package to where they know they're going to get something in return. And if they're not going to get something in return, they're probably not going to invest in you yet. So it's your job to paint a beautiful picture and to tell me why you're so amazing and why I'm going to receive something back in return. Okay. Because it's business. It's all about business. Okay. They want to know they're going to get something back. So it's your job to package that up. And there are professionals out there whose job is to just make your sponsorship package or your advertising package amazing. The same thing with the media kit. You got to have a media kit to pitch, but you also have to have that advertising or that sponsorship package pulled together to send out to the masses as well.
Great. Okay? Thank you.
If you're not getting the larger corporations, start with small businesses. Small businesses are always looking for ways, especially in the community or locally or your entire state, always looking for ways to gain additional exposure.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Very welcome, Sheila.
Thank you, Sheila. Now, GlenNeta.
Hey.
As a small business, I might be thinking, I'm too small. I don't need to be TV ready yet. I can wait until I grow to be a larger concern. What are your recommendations regarding timing, the size of your business, and when you'd actually engage in creating EPKs and things like that?
Yeah, I recommend, first of all, with any business, consistency. Everybody write down consistency. People trust people who are consistent with what they do. Your show is successful because you guys do it every single week at the exact same time. You have the audience. Everybody knows when they can tune in and they can see your show. That's consistency. And I think that's amazing what you guys are doing. They want to know that you're consistent. So what are you putting out on an ongoing basis? So I know that I can go to your company every Monday and receive a live video. I know that I can go to your company every Thursday and receive a new motivational tip in the industry. It's about consistency. So whether you're ready for the television level or not, you should be consistent with your brand. And you should still be building your video content. Every business, no matter what size, needs to have some type of video marketing, video content, because that's where the industry is. You have to meet the generation and you have to evolve with the trends. This is what's trending. People aren't just going to the television anymore. We're watching it on our phones. We're watching it through apps. We're doing everything virtually and digitally. So if your business is not at that level, that's something you should be investing in. So whatever you do, you have to be consistent. People trust that. They want to go to your social media pages and see that you've posted something today, this week, this month. They have to know that. If your page hasn't had any type of updates within the last month, why am I going to trust you with my brand? Why am I going to pay you money and either you're not investing in your social media or you're not even investing in your company to keep it up to date? If I go to your website and your events are outdated, why am I trusting you with my brand? If you don't care enough about your image, why should I care? So the main thing that I tell all businesses, consistency is key. Find out how you can be consistent. Okay, so I can't afford a social media manager and I don't have a marketing manager. So I'm doing it all myself. I'm CEO, okay? Let's just say that. But if that's true, then I know that I still have to be consistent with what I'm going to do. There's so many things. There's Buffer, there's Hootsuite that you can put all of your social media outlets in, and you can schedule out your entire month of your social media content. If you don't have the time to do it daily, schedule it out, because it's going to go out at the exact same time and it's going to post, exactly when you need it. There's too many different ways where you can schedule post out. If you're tied up in meetings and you're afraid you're not going to be able to post today, schedule it for tomorrow. So there's so many different ways. So I just say, whatever you're doing, be consistent with what you're doing. If you know that you can only post once a week, then commit to it, but make sure it's at the same time every single week. Does that help?
That helps tremendously. And if I can translate, it doesn't matter the size of your business. Your primary business is building your brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People trust the brand. People will trust the brand if you're consistent. They have to know that you are constantly being an expert in your field. They have to trust you. You have to, how many brands, think about it now, how many brands have put out something to where, something negative has gone into the media and you don't even trust that brand. You're like, I'm not eating at that place anymore. I'm not shopping with them anymore. We've all done it. We've all seen something to where we're like, oh, I don't trust that brand anymore, right? So, let's, for instance, Johnson's, this is very bad, but Johnson's baby powder. And then they have all these people that are saying that they've gotten cancer, ovarian cancer from it. Are you going to run out and buy Johnson's baby powder? That's just an example, but you have to trust the brand. So as a small business owner, I don't care if you have 2 clients and 1 employee, people have to trust you. Until you get to that point where people are running this for you. And even then you have to invest in people that would treat your brand like you and build it as you would. But people have to trust you. So just remember, no matter what size, even if you are starting a company that you haven't even broke ground on yet, you absolutely from day one you have to build trust. That's the foundation of everything. You have to build trust, because if you don't build trust with these people, they're not going to support your business. And if you don't have people that support your business, you are out of business. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Yes, it does.
That makes perfect sense. So unless you're doing this work to get yourself TV ready. So if I get it correctly, you're not getting yourself TV ready so you can go on TV. You're actually getting yourself TV ready so you can have a thriving business.
Yeah, and I say it's both. I say it's both. If a television appearance pops up and they're like, wow, you guys are everywhere. I see you every single week and I trust everything that you're doing. I love what you're doing over there. Let me bring you on my show. That's an opportunity that will literally come to you. You should build your brand so nicely and so consistently and so well that people will come to you. You won't have to sit there and submit your packages out to everyone. People will literally come to you because they see the great things that you're doing on a consistent basis. Trust me. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. And if you build that trust and consistently put that information out there, people will come straight to you. Referrals, word of mouth, someone that work with you and they love the outcome. They're going to go and they're going to pull their sister and their friends, and they're going to be walking billboards for you. And they're going to tell everyone how amazing you are because you were good to them. And you did what you said you were going to do. Whatever your mission was for that business, whatever you said you were going to do, if you delivered it, people will do the marketing for you. And I promise you that.
Words to the wise. Mark Ham will take your question as the last one.
Miss GlenNeta Griffin, you are awesome.
Thank you.
I'm blown away, and I'm kind of in the same market, not doing what you're doing from that aspect, but from a web point of view. But my question to you is, we're all here, we're all rock stars, we're the best in our fields. I noticed that you give back, and I wanted you to talk about the Media Kids Foundation and what that entails, because I believe in giving back to the kids. The kids are the ones coming up that are going to replace us or enhance us or carry on our legacy. So what's that about? What's Media Kids Foundation about?
Yes, and thank you for asking me that. That is my baby. So first of all, let me just start by saying that I have 3 children that are all actors, okay? So besides me working at the foundation and the Media Academy, I'm split between that and then also being on set with 3 different children. My son has a television show that'll be on HBO in August. He's worked on films. My daughter has a film that's coming out. My other son was on Little Big Shots with Steve Harvey. Like, my kids have been in television since they were all like 18 months. So let me just say that. So it started with me just being a very passionate mom with my own children. But then I started coming around all these other kids, and then all these parents start calling me going, well, how do I get my kids involved? How do I get my kid on television? I'm like, okay, well, I wanted to do something. A lot of parents, I will also say this. I started out acting when I was professionally 18 years old. I got my first national SAG commercial when I was 18. And that was when I was old enough to sign myself up for an agent. My mom was a single mom growing up, and she could not afford to put me in acting classes and to get me involved in the industry. So when I was old enough to sign the paperwork myself, that's the first thing that I did, because I love the industry. I wanted to be a television host and an actress when I was like 2. Anytime that I can remember, I always had something in my hand, and I was like hosting a show, and everybody's going to be on my show. Like that was, something that I always enjoyed. And I see that in so many children, and they don't know where to begin. And I didn't want another child whose family could not afford to invest in them, for them to have to choose a different profession or to let that dream die. No child deserves that. So I wanted to create something where we could invest back in them. It wouldn't break the bank. If their parents could afford it, we get sponsors, we get donations, we get grants in to offer training from other media professionals all over the world that can come and speak to these kids and let them know your dream is real. Your dream deserves the same attention as everybody else's that's had other opportunities for you. So we work with kids. Right now, we're in our virtual summer camp. We're doing, I actually have 2 classes today. We have youth filmmaking class, breaking into filmmaking. We have screenwriting. We're working with these babies who actually want to write their scripts. They have all of these different characters in their heads, and they don't know how to pull them together. Some are writing short films, some are developing television shows, and you would not believe some of the talent that comes out of these kids. On Fridays, the last 3 Fridays, we've done an improv party with all of the kids. So they all come in and we just run different scenes via Zoom, I'm just doing improv with the kids, and they're having a blast right from the comfort of their own homes. So also with the pandemic, I didn't want them to feel like they couldn't express themselves creatively. It is very important, if you have a creative child, to put them in a creative environment. They have to be around other creatives. If you're the only creative in your house and everybody else is like, God, that kid gets on my nerves, go sit down somewhere, go shut up somewhere. You're always creating characters. You're always talking. You're always doing this. That happens because people don't understand that they're creatives. But if you put that child in an environment with other creatives where they don't feel crazy when they make up a new character, and they're like, they can actually express themselves and other people speak the language, you would be amazed at what that child can do. Or your child is always laughing and always making up jokes, and everybody's like, you're so silly, shut up. What if your child is the next Steve Harvey? What if your child is the next hugest comedian in the world, and you're telling them to go shut up somewhere because they don't understand what it's like to be a creative? So that's what we do at the Media Kids Foundation. We teach kids acting. We teach them how to be public speakers, youth activists. We have, again, screenwriting, filmmaking. They're actually picking up the cameras. We have cameras for them, and they're actually taking the microphones and creating their own shows. And they're kidpreneurs, and they're TikTok stars, and they're YouTube stars. These are the kids that are actually creating their own videos and their own content. So that's what we do at the Media Kids Foundation. If you guys want to make a donation, we are purchasing equipment for them, and we're hiring instructors from all over the world to come and share their expertise. Now that we have our film industry that's a little bit down, starting to get back up, a lot of these people have more time on their hands. So we have producers, we have directors and actors that are actually talking to them and allowing the kids to ask them anything on a daily basis. And we're hosting a lot. So if you guys want to make a donation, go to mediakids.org and help us with this mission, because we don't want another child to sit at home as a creative and feel like they don't have an outlet right now during this time. So I'm extremely passionate about it. I love working with the kids, and I just think they're absolutely amazing. So thank you for asking me that.
Thank you, GlenNeta, and shout out to SAG-AFTRA.
Yay, you got that SAG card.
No doubt, no doubt.
Awesome, good stuff.
Awesome, Mark. Thank you for that question, GlenNeta. Thank you. Now, I want to give you your last words, and include in your last words, again, the best way for people to reach you.
Okay, awesome. So you can go to georgiamediaacademy.com. and you can find me straight through there. My personal website is GlenNetaGriffin.com. I'm on all social media that can be reached through the website as well, at GlenNeta Griffin, all social media. And my final word to you guys is invest in yourself. It's really that simple. This is a time right now where that investment can mean so many things. It can mean your personal development. It can mean you are investing in a new career. It can mean you're investing in taking your brand to the television level. It can mean you're investing in a career coach that's going to help you get to the next level. I think these times are very critical right now because we can actually do so much while we're in. You can develop that whole press kit right now while you're sitting at home. There's so many things you can do. So I want to encourage you, whatever next level that is for you, whatever it is that you want to do, I want to encourage you to invest in yourself because you are worth it. I am a mom too, and I've been having to get my fitness back together because I've gained some of those quarantine pounds. And I'm like, listen, when I am working out over here, y'all just go on over there because this is my time. This is my investment into myself. So we invest in ourselves in different ways, but whatever it is that you need and what's on your heart or whatever you need for your business, don't be afraid to invest in yourself.
Thank you, GlenNeta. Thank
Absolutely.
you. And we're going to close. A word from our co-host and co-founder, Alice. Gio.
Thank you, Sorrel. Can you guys hear me all right? Okay.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, thank you. I could not miss being with GlenNeta today. I was like, oh my God, I was doing another presentation at the chamber. And I was like, oh, I'm going to miss GlenNeta. I got to come back. And my goodness, I felt like I was walking into the ocean and a whole wave, GlenNeta wave just came to me.
Oh,
Thank you for your passion. I got your passion, I have to tell you. I know I missed some many good tips and nuggets, and I'm going to go back into the recording and get a little bit of you. But thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to get to know more about you. And as we close today's conversation, we're going to invite you to take on that investment that GlenNeta is talking about, invest in yourself. And this is our leadership course that Sorrel and I are leading at the end of August. You want to take advantage of that opportunity, go to accesstheleaderwithin.com, and we will have 3 days of a complete transformation in yourself, in how you lead others, and how you do your marketing. Thank you all for you being here, and we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank
Bye,
you,
everybody.
GlenNeta.
Thank you
Great
guys
job,
so much.
GlenNeta. Great
Bye.
Thanks
job.
for having me. Y'all have a great one. Stay
You too.
safe.
All right.